At this time, we ask that you please rise for the national anthem of New Zealand, performed tonight by Will Martin. Fans, please remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America, performed tonight by Ariana Johnson.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the bed o'er the side, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed. And the rockets raked the land, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So two very talented young singers singing the national anthems, getting a great reception from the crowd too, and I'm sure there'll be a great reception now. The traditional challenge of the Maori, the challenge that has become synonymous with New Zealand rugby, the haka, timatanga. Timatanga, the haka of the Maori All Blacks, led by Captain Ash Dixon, but you notice the man at the front of the arrow formation, Joe Royal, who really has led the team this week as they prepared to perform that challenge. A challenge that is about the gathering of young warriors and the setting of goals. If you aim for the skies, you will climb the peaks, and that's what they'll hope to do on this three-match tour starting here tonight in Chicago. Notably, the US team just taking a moment now. Seem to enjoy facing up to it, though. Big moment for a lot of those players, Justin.
Yeah, certainly was, and they didn't back down, did they, the US? They look really intent, as do the Maori. We should get an entertaining game here this evening, no doubt about it. They haven't had any success against the Maori, the USA, so in 3 matches without a win, they'll be determined to try and turn those statistics around, I would imagine.
There's the referee, Matt Carley of England. He'll be assisted by 2 local referees, American referees, Kurt Weaver and Derek Summers. TMO is Rowan Kitt of England. So we're all set. And it will be Folau Niua to start the match. There he is in the inside centre. And so stand by, the US Eagles against the Maori All Blacks in Chicago.
Time on, please.
So Niua it is who kicks deep, and a first touch for Tawara Kurbalo, who's been given the opportunity to play in this game by the All Black selectors. Opportunity, though, for Will Holder to put the ball high. Challenge for Damien McKenzie. But he took it under no real pressure, and the Māori All Blacks have the ball. Ihia West with his first kick of the game, putting it deep. And fullback Mike Tell on the far side, appealing for a penalty. Felt he was taken out, but referee waves play on. Number 8, Danny Barrett, fires it back in field to Holder, and so some early kicking. Cutter Pryor back for the Māori All Blacks, and now Ihia West. Well, this one's not going to go into touch, is it? Yes, it will. Dropping back, well, a familiar figure for New Zealand viewers, Tony Lambourne. Played for Hawke's Bay, the Hurricanes this year, born in Ashburton in the South Island of New Zealand, but with an American father. Welcome in viewers all around the world who have joined us for this match here in Chicago, being played on a tremendous surface. It's the home ground of the Chicago Fire football team. And it's James Hildebrand of the US to throw to the first line out. And an early penalty against the Māori All Blacks. An opportunity for the Eagles to put the ball downfield.
Penalty against the Māori All Blacks, offside and line out.
Will Holder it is. He puts the ball into touch. There's Tom Franklin, the man who will call the Māori All Black line out. But of course, US ball. James Hildebrand, an Australian-born, throws it down to the back and tapped down rather loosely by Nick Savetta. And untidy ball. And Bryce Campbell, in his debut performance for the US tonight, has to do the tidying up. And again, they go to the boot of Will Holder, putting it deep. Here's James Lowe on the left wing for the Maori All Blacks. He'll put it high. Very good kicker, Lowe. Tears after it. Holder stayed back, though. Here's Teal, the fullback, who really likes to counter-attack. Only makes it as far as about 30 metres from his own goal line. Nate Augsburger, the US halfback. Now he kicks. McKenzie waiting for it. Fires it across field to West. A bit of shadow boxing early on. Here's Niua. Teo. And his kick goes down to McKenzie. Well, who's going to be the first? Not able to resist the temptation to run low. Taken and a good tackle. That was Yosefo, the right winger, who got up and made it. But they get it back to McKenzie. Tim Bateman back at the Maori All Blacks after a 2-year absence. A loose pass. And there's going to be an opportunity here for the Eagles. Well, it was just a matter, Justin. A lot of kicking early on. Who was going to balk first?
Yeah, it was the New Zealand Maori that decided to shift it. They're just a little flat when they tried to get it across to the outside. They did have an overlap, but just nobody sort of at depth, enabling them to get onto that outside channel. So an opportunity for the US. Todd Clever going in there, you can see, to halfback, so perhaps a line-out drive to come.
Savetta in 5, the tallest man. He goes into lift. That's Nate Breakley. Another one who's new to this US team under John Mitchell's coaching. They smuggle it to the back where Lambourne has it. And they look to drive it. Edging forward. Augsburger realises they're probably going to have to move it now. Lambourne taking it round the fringe. And good work by the forwards now. Clever picks it up. Just 10 metres from the goal line here. Here's Lamo Sitele, the loose head prop. Now hold up. And they give it to the left winger, Leota. Breaks the line. Big Matai Leota. Holder's got it in there. Coming for Augsburger. Great chance. Numbers away to the left. They have to score. Clever. Well, he went with it. He had a man outside him, Danny Barrett. And the ball's been stolen by Akira Ioane. And Kerr Barlow puts it away. Hasn't put it into touch. There's a good chase on here too. It's Rico Ioane who's got up. Holder's got back. And now Teal. Now the game's starting to open up now. But really, you do feel the US missed a golden opportunity to open the scoring. They do get a penalty eventually. But Justin, they had the numbers.
They certainly did. As they shifted it wide, it was really well orchestrated and they constructed it perfectly. They had the Maori short on their line, and then when Todd Clever needed to pass, he decided to not and prop off that right foot, and it really did cost them dearly. He had a man outside him. Yes, there was cover defence coming, but I think momentum would have got the player to into the touchline. This is the break, the earlier break. Lovely pass and set up. And Teo was looming on the outside, so again, that's him going in as the first tackler, and there's Clever off the left foot. Wow. Should have gone, TJ.
Well, interesting to see the Eagles have not gone for goal. They've gone for the line out. They set it for the drive again. Feel they've got some early momentum. Hooker, Hildebrand has it, really going across the field at the moment.
Down by point.
Now they take it away. So just 5 metres out from the line, but off their feet. And I think it might have been the captain who's been caught here. Yes, he said number 6, so penalty goes against Todd Clever. So not a great start for the captain, who's back in the side. To say, rather surprisingly, left out of their team for the World Cup last year after a bit of a fallout with the previous coach. But John Mitchell's got him back in the team and leading it. And the Maori All Blacks have, well, dodged a couple of good raids early on by the American team. First line-out throw for the Maori All Blacks, and their captain, Ash Dixon. And Tom Franklin, such a good line-out forward. Kerr Barlow puts it high, Lowe giving chase. And Holder takes it as Lowe comes to him, gets away from the first tackler as well. He's a strong player, Will Holder. Clever, driven back in the tackle. Now Bellman, Chris Bellman, played for the Wellington Lions in the New Zealand provincial competition. Another high kick. West coming up, was always struggling to get to it, and good pressure from Lambourne, and the Eagles have got it back. Augsburger, he goes for the kick over the top, and that's going to run into touch midway 22 and goal line. So 8 fairly frantic minutes have gone by, but still no score.
White, step out in the middle. 4. White, step out.
And referee just making sure the line-outs are spaced. Dixon with the throw. And they'll go back to the left boot of James Lowe. Drills it deep. Wasn't really looking for the touchline. Here's Mike Teal from the San Diego Breakers. Kicking out towards the touchline, but not a good kick at all. And he's given up a lot of ground there. And the first real opportunity for the Maori All Blacks to go onto the attack now.
They'll learn very quickly, will the US, about the power of James Lowe's left foot. If he drops back into that pocket, went sailing over both of their heads, so the back three will have to adjust to that. He's got a prolific kick on him when he really climbs into it from deep.
Well, Jacob Skeen was the target for the first line out, takes the second as well. Here's Lowe coming in from the left wing, coming off a very good season with the Tasman Marcos. Now Dixon, Elliot Dixon, 2 Dixons in the Maori All Black team. Kerr Barlow scrambles it away. Kane Hames, wide it goes to Rico Ioane. Now back to Elliot Dixon. Good hit on him by Hildebrand, but it's there for Kerr Barlow. Damien McKenzie, he'll pop up at first receiver a lot. Turns a nice ball back and field to Ash Dixon, and he's taken inside the 22. Holder getting hands to it. He's done really well here. Referee's playing an advantage. I've turned the ball over. Augsburger can see it.
No, not now, 5.
And has a little dab around the fringe too. Well, the referee looked like he was playing advantage, but he's let play go on. And so back they go to Holder. His kick hasn't found touch. Lowe wants it. He's got Pryor with him. And almost slipping. Popping it up nicely to Matt Proctor. Now Akira Ioane. And they know they have to close him down because he's so hard to stop. Pops a nice ball into space. And Ben May to Dixon. Taken on by Franklin. They've got the chance now. Over the top it goes to Lowe, and he's in. The referee wants confirmation here, though. Try awarded. He just sought the advice of his assistant, but the try is scored by James Lowe. And the Maori All Blacks lead early by 5-0.
Oh, you have to feel a little sorry for Will Holder. He did a magnificent job in turning the ball over earlier in the movement, and then he got up out of the ruck and got thrown the ball, didn't find touch. And from there, that's when this guy, the man on screen, James Lowe, decided to launch the counter-attack. And he made good inroads initially, and then it was just some lovely interchanging of passing. Players punching onto the ball, better depth than we saw earlier in the match. Ash Dixon, prominent, made a couple of nice little breaks. Damien McKenzie, 2 good decisions. One to offload that got the try for James Lowe when he's under a little bit of pressure. But plenty of players handling the ball and punching onto it, and an excellent team try in the finish.
So it'll be Ihaya West to attempt the conversion wide out. Early chances spurned by the US Eagles. And first real raid by the Maori All Blacks results in a try. West And the conversion from wide out is very good. It's over. And so it's a 7-0 lead for the Maori All Blacks. And this is really where they had a chance to close it down, but the offload to May, and this was great from here on in, Justin.
Yeah, it certainly was. That's brilliant from Ash Dixon. The dummy first and then the offload to Franklin. Comes spewing out the back here, but they do really well to clean it up. And this decision, McKenzie's a good one. He knew the winger was coming in, just popped it over the top, and plenty of players to spare James Lowe. He gets to try.
So the restart from Niua. Lowe again driving the ball deep. And Holder having to go back a long way. Got such a powerful boot, James Lowe. And Holder, well, he puts it into touch short of halfway. Some very good work in the lead up to that try too by Jacob Skeen. He was the man who just got his hands on the ball, cleared it up off the deck, kept it going. He's also won a couple of early lineouts.
They said 5.
Here's Nick Civetta. And again, they go down to the back. They've read that well. Civetta's got up, got in front of Jacob Skeen and steals the ball at line-out time. Augsburger. And wind up in a charge from Hildebrand, the hooker. Augsburger away to Niua. And here's Campbell, the centre. Holder dropping back into the pocket again for the kick. And he won't want to do that too often, kicking it straight to Damien McKenzie. Such a good counter-attacker. Finds a nice angle with his punt as well. Stops just short of the touchline. Holder has to make some room for himself as McKenzie came flying at him. And a territory gain here for the Maori All Blacks.
And you're right in what you say. He can't sit back in that pocket, but it just telegraphs what he's going to do. Immediately that he goes into that position, the wingers are dropping back in support of Damien McKenzie. That time he opted for a brilliant kick, which did stop and stay in touch, which enables now New Zealand Maori to have an opportunity to attack close to the 22 of the USA. So he's going to have to be careful about sitting back there, Holder, or they will counter-attack all day and cause them headaches.
So Dixon with the line-out throw finds Elliot Dixon. And, well, that was a bit untidy. Bounced it down in front of Tawara Kurbalo. So it'll be a scrum feed to the USA. This is the fourth time, in fact, that these teams have met, as Justin mentioned before. 3 previous occasions. Māori All Blacks winning 69-31 at Calgary 2004, 74-6 in San Francisco 2 years later, and then a closer match in 2013 in Philadelphia, won by the Māori All Blacks 29-19. So first scrum feed, Nate Augsburger. You can see Bauman played in New Zealand's Mitre 10 Cup for Wellington. Hildebrand, the hooker, and Lemositele up against May, Hames and Dixon. And controlled in the back by Barrett, and they give it to Niua, who charges into the defence. Clever now put on the ground. Solid tackle made by Pryor, and the ball's been lost. Well, he's not had a great start to this game, it has to be said. The US captain made a few errors. Some good defence there.
Don't mind the ambition, though, from the US. You know, easily an area of the field where you could just want to kick it. Instead, they opted for the 8-9 move off the back of the scrum. And as you mentioned, you are good, strong carry. So they're certainly showing some intent. And they're not just going to sit back and die wondering. The US, they'll look to attack the All Blacks, I should say the New Zealand Māori, with ball in hand.
So McKenzie's away to the right with Rico Ioane, and that's the way they go. Kurbalo fires it wide, and bouncing off the shoulder of Ioane. McKenzie got across well. Matai Leota on the left wing is a very dangerous runner, and here's a good charge from Danny Barrett, the number 8. Charging onto it now is Holder, but he loses the ball in contact, and Akira Ioane has it. Gives it to his brother, Rico with the fend and the pass, low and close. West now taken a little high by Yosefo. Referee has the arm out for the high tackle. Now Rico Ioane taking them on around the fringe. Another advantage at the breakdown. They look to keep it going. Hames, good skills, the prop. And, well, a couple of the Maori All Black players just bumping into each other. So it was the second penalty advantage, one for not rolling away. The earlier one for the high tackle by Martin Yosefo. And West can put it deep.
Against the USA Eagles for not rolling away.
The decisions of the referee being conveyed to the crowd. I'm sure there's a lot of people here tonight perhaps who haven't seen a rugby game of this level before. There's Will Holder, a graduate of the famous Princeton Military Academy. Yosefo, the right winger. And there's the captain. Dixon. Skeen's gone right to the front this time, but it's Elliot Dixon. They work the move. Akira Ioane bashes through the first tackle and over.
Try for the Maori All Blacks.
Well, a move round the front of the line out, one missed tackle, and it's all over.
Probably not good enough, you'd have to say, from the US on defence. As they work the move around the front, Elliot Dixon brings it down. It's just a simplistic one. Dixon was on the outside. They never had enough numbers there to cope for it. And this guy, with ball in hand, so powerful, he's explosive. Brushed aside one tackler. The minute that he did that, they had dropped their winger across to the far side. So it was curtains for the US, and Ioane goes in for what you'd have to say is a pretty easy try, but this man can make certain things on the rugby field look easy. He does have a lot of power.
Well, you have to feel a bit for Nate Augsburger, the US halfback, smallest man in the team, left to guard Akira Ioane. It was only ever going to be one result. So West. He's 7 metres in, so closer than his first kick. And glances off the left hand, upright and over. So after almost 20 minutes, 2 converted tries, and the Maori All Blacks lead the US Eagles by 14-0. Niua deep and low. Oh, he's got time to get the kick away once again. Kicking deep, and just a little bit deceived there was Danny Barrett. Thought he had it covered. And into touch it goes. Here's that try again, Justin.
As you can see here, nice little dummy. And then just the power, the fend of Ioane. He is explosive. Well worked team line out move.
Of course, the Ioane brothers in the Maori All Black side. Their mother, Sandra Wihongi, a former New Zealand rugby international herself. Father Eddie played for Samoa in the 1991 World Cup. Ball tapped down on the US side. And here is Danny Barrett looking for a charge. A very powerful runner. Played against the All Blacks at Soldier Field 2 years ago. Only lasted about 10 minutes. Well, difficult kick. But well, somehow the Eagles have managed to scramble it back. Holder, whose first instinct it seems is to kick. That's a better kick too from Will Holder. Maori All Blacks have taken it quickly, and I think they'll bring them back here. The line out had formed.
2 from each side. Chew 'em up.
This is the start of a really big weekend of rugby here. Certainly awareness of the sport, and numbers participating in the US are growing. Skeen Goes up, wins the line out. In fact, it was Franklin who won the line out on that occasion. And another powerful charge from Akira Ioane. Back it goes to Lowe, using his left boot a lot. Holder hoping this is going to roll over the goal line. It doesn't.
Yeah, now wait.
And that's not a good kick at all. Good chase from Damien McKenzie. It was a long chase, but he stuck to the job, put a bit of pressure on, and Holder has seen the ball skew off the side of his boot. Great opportunity here for the Maori to launch again.
It's because they're not catching it ball in hand. It's always going behind them, so they're backpedaling, not able to execute good kicks because they're having to get onto the ground, get it, and there's players chasing quickly.
Well, Maori All Blacks looking to keep things moving. Bateman takes it to the line for another line out win by Tom Franklin. Elliot Dixon now just looking to up the intensity again. Ash Dixon. Tackle was made by Campbell, the centre. Now Skeen. Just working it up inside the 22. West moves it on. McKenzie. Lambourne made the tackle on his, his Hawke's Bay teammate. Now good angled run from Franklin. Now patiently building here. That's Skeen. Now the switch of play. Damien McKenzie thought he saw a gap. Kerr-Barlow takes it back the other way and takes the defence on around the fringe. And they get a penalty. It's against Chris Bellman. They've taken it quickly. They've given it to Akira Ioane. And he stopped just a couple of metres short of the line. Pick and go by Hames to the line.
Time off.
The referee wants a confirmation here. Barrett's tried to stop him getting the ball down, but he looks like he's pretty confident he's scored here, Kane Hames.
I believe the tackle is complete. Just need to see whether he's used any part of his body to propel himself forward or whether he's reached out and scored the try.
Okay, so he's checking the double movement here.
Yeah, I thought he was tackled just short of the line. So that's what they're going to check, whether or not he had actually gone properly onto the ground or momentum got him over the try line.
Play is under video review.
It's just a case of whether his knees have touched the ground
That's
there.
right.
Just wait. Let's make the decision.
Well, he's effectively on top of another player. He's on top of Barrett. So his knees probably didn't go on the ground because he lands on Barrett and then just powers through him. Look, he's on top of Barrett and then just goes right over the top of him and finishes it off.
Rowan
Okay, Rowan, from what I can see, the tackle is completed and then he drives forward with his legs. So it's a double movement for me. You agree? No try. Penalty defence. Thank you very much.
Yeah, referee Matt
No try.
Carley has decided
Gents, when I'm using the TMO, can you please
that
just
the
stay
tackle
quiet and
had
make the
been
decision?
completed, that his knee had touched the ground, and so it's a penalty to the
Use his
Eagles.
legs to
Here it is
pull
again.
forward when the tackle's complete.
There's a penalty against the Maori All Blacks for double movement.
Yeah, I honestly don't think his knees went onto the grass. However, he is
A lot easier if it's quiet.
gone down and put pressure onto another player who is on the ground and effectively stopping him from going to ground. So it did look like a second go, to be fair. I think they've probably got it right.
Well, another kick off the boot of Holder that really has gone nowhere near as far as he would have liked. It was a remarkable effort by
From
Hames.
outside, it's taken in.
Deep kick
Fine.
down to Lowe. McKenzie, well, he had a good look while he was waiting for the pass, and off he goes. He saw where the space was. Savetta had to make the tackle, but here they come again. May winds up, charges through the tackle of Clever. Away on the right to Lowe, who's popping up all over the back line now. Rieko Ioane sets it. May again. Really starting to get into their work now. Lowe coming in close, takes a short pass from Kerr-Barlow. Wrestled to the ground by Bellman. Now Ihaya West holding the ball up. He's taken by the covering tackle. play carries on. Now McKenzie in a bit of space. Well, I think he might have lost the handle as he tried to get the pass in field. Slipped out of his grasp. Lambourne has it. They're going to put him over the touchline. But the referee will bring them back for a forward pass. Just lost control of it.
Love the way Damien McKenzie is playing, though, getting himself involved in the game. There as a second receiver. We've seen him as a first receiver and also on the outside channel. Given the licence to be able to get in and get his hands on the ball, and he's so dangerous. Quick off the mark. His footwork's excellent. He's causing them a lot of problems on defence. Is Damien McKenzie, and injecting himself all over the park, so they can't really read him at the moment.
Just stay where you are.
Just a bit of treatment here for James Hildebrand. Mentioned the growing awareness of rugby in this country. I know a lot more people in Chicago this time seem to be aware of the big game coming up this weekend. It is another sellout tomorrow. This one attracted a pretty good crowd. There's now a professional league in the United States, won by the Denver Stampede. 5 teams expected to grow next year. The Olympic Games attracting athletes from to rugby from other sports. Carlin Isles, Perry Baker, of course. Nate Ebner from the New England Patriots, who played for the US at the Rio Olympics.
Need to be a bit higher on this side from the last scrum. Yeah.
It's a game that still has a long way to go. Get anywhere near the profile of the big 4 professional sports, but no question, rugby is growing in the United States of America.
Time on, please. Crouch! Bind! Set!
So Nate Augsburger from the New York Old Blues feeds the scrum. And, well, this time they're going to try and run it out. And good charge too from Bryce Campbell, the big centre. Wasn't held in the tackle. So good work from the man from Indiana University. Now Yosefo moved it on to Till. Cover defence got him.
Eight.
There may be signs that they might work away or move away from that kicking game. Really wasn't working for them. Although Holder now calling for it on the 22.
Now stay. No, two.
Well,
Two
it's a high kick, it's a deep kick, but it's a nothing kick really. McKenzie fires it across to Lowe, and Lowe, well, this time he might have got too much on it. He has. It's going to run deep, and so that is a big territory gain for the Eagles. Lowe's been driving them back with those kicks, but that time he just got too much on it.
As you mentioned, though, Tony, it's a dangerous policy for Holder to sit back there and just kick the ball down the throat of the receiving back 3. And Damien McKenzie, Rico Ioane and James Lowe, they will have a field day if they get kicked the ball with that much time to counter-attack and survey their options. The kicking needs to, if he's going to sit back there, he needs to kick it with the intent of getting it back.
Good attacking scrum position here, though, for the US Eagles.
Yeah, they got some change out of that, but it was only because of a mistake.
Bind!
And that won't happen all day.
Set!
Yosefo looking to take the ball at first receiver. They've got no one on the right. Good scrum from the Maori All Blacks, though, and Barrett's going to have trouble clearing this. Well, that's a great scrum.
Up on retreat.
I think he's got Lamositele on the loose head side, so there's a big win for Ben May.
Penalty against the USA Eagles for losing binding in the scrum.
Number 1 up on retreat.
Yeah, it was Lamositele, the man who plays for Saracens in England. So he'd know a bit about scrummaging if he plays in the English competition, that's for sure.
They just couldn't get past the middle row. The US, the actual hook wasn't too bad, but then that pressure came through and they were backpedaling straight away. And eventually it got stuck, and they got penalised for one thing. They could have got for 2 because somebody put their hand in there and raked it back as well.
And people still taking their seats around the ground. Big pass goes into centre field, Akira Ioane. Kurbalo clears it away. Here's Proctor. Hasn't had too many opportunities to attack so far. Tackle made by Niua. Again, they're using their forwards just to work the ball ahead. Wait for the opportunity to unleash this very talented back line. West with the attempted pass. Well, it was deflected, but it falls into the hands of Lowe. And his kick, well, eventually dribbles into touch. Maximum gain there from James Lowe. I'm just thinking too, Justin, with that massive parade that they had in Chicago today, they're talking about 5-6 million people celebrating the win of the Chicago Cubs. I know it took us nearly 2 hours to get out here, so not surprising that the ground's filling up late. Oh, Maori All Blacks have it. Here's May winding up. Sets it right out in front of the post, but they'll go back. Well, he's ruled there they didn't gain advantage, and so they'll come back for the scrum. Well, in fact, it's going to be a US scrum feed.
Time off.
So Todd Clever getting just a little bit of maintenance there. He was found defensively there, second man in just prior to James Lowe's kick. And he's been defending out there quite a lot. They're getting caught short, the US, when the New Zealand Maori go into the midfield and then switch it back. They're gravitating a bit too much to the ruck. Their line speed is okay at the moment, but they're going to have to look at their numbers a lot better.
Clear picture, yeah?
So Maori All Blacks still leading those 2 converted tries. They've had a 3rd disallowed.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
But just signs here that the US Eagles is battling a little bit to stay in the contest. Another big scrum.
Stay 9, stay.
Well, they've managed to stabilise it, and Barrett comes away off the back, runs into Elliot Dixon, who holds him up. Eventually, he gets it to ground. And this is where they're just not looking very certain of themselves. Augsburger comes away with it, does what he has to do, puts it away into touch. But there'll be no let up. It'll be a line out just outside the 22. Well, James Lowe here arguing that the US Eagles might have had players there, but there was no representation at the line out from the Maori All Blacks, and he was entitled to take a quick throw. So it'll be a regulation line out. Dixon now towards the back. Skeen wins it. Again, it's Low. Oh, gets the offload. Almost connects with Bateman. Ball's been lost, though, and Bryce Campbell has it. Back it goes to Holder. Kick is charged. And ball goes dead, but the referee's whistle's gone anyway. Skeen thought he was in. Very mobile, Jacob Skeen. Got up for the charge, but the referee brings them back for this.
Yeah, it was a forward pass from James Lowe as he's looking to get to Bateman. Got in between the 2 defenders, James Lowe, so the gap was there for Bateman. Just didn't quite get the timing right between the 2 of them. He's certainly getting involved in the game, James Lowe. I mentioned McKenzie getting in as a first, second receiver and having lots of touches of the ball. Well, so is James Lowe. I guess his kicking game is part of that, where he's as a first receiver becoming predominantly their kicker out of their own territory, but also he wanted to get his hands on the ball.
Well, there's Tim Bateman back in New Zealand Rugby after 2 seasons in Japan. Will play for the Crusaders next year. This is 10th game for the Maori All Blacks, and so that makes him the most capped in this team. And he's away to the right. Ehai West has gone to the left.
Bind! Set!
Threats both sides of the park when they're on attack. Right now on defence, and James Lowe drops back expecting the kick from Holder, who's having some real difficulty getting distance with his punts at the moment.
Oh, his timing's terrible. It's coming off the side of the boot 80% of the time, and they just cannot get out of their own half because of it. In contrast, when James Lowe or Ehai West or Damien McKenzie kick, they are getting lots of distance. They need to rectify it. Augsburger as well, with his kicking game, he's struggling for length too, so they've not got a lot of options and they're not working.
Dixon, again, the ball to the back. Franklin takes it nicely. Ehire West, little chip kick through. Proctor's after it. Proctor's got it. Back to Lowe. Lowe's in for the third try.
Very good from Ehire West. He went to the line at pace, and sometimes when you go for the chip kick, players stop and that telegraphs it, but instead he goes to the line, so he gets it nice and flat, keeps going. He had 4 players charging through. Lowe was on the inside, Proctor on the out. Proctor got the bounce back inside to Lowe. Well worked, well deserved, good execution.
Yeah, second try for James Lowe. Beautifully worked move. Defence came up. There was just such a big hole there for Ehire West. Precise execution, and it'll be West to convert the try that he created with that deft little kick. And so the Maori All Blacks lead by 21-0.
And again, you can see here the defence were committed to come up. The players in motion were also flat. The defence had to consider them. So they were all coming at the line at pace, and they were all a passing option, which makes the chip kick work, that they all look like they're going to receive it in hand, nice and flat. The defenders were committed, eyes on them, and then the timing of the kick was perfect.
So Niua in an action replay with the deep kick from James Lowe. Danny Barrett going to have Mackenzie on, and well, Mackenzie just got enough of him to allow Skeen to finish the job off.
Tackle 1!
There for Augsburger. And Mositele
Tackle release!
taken in the tackle by Kara Pryor.
Ball is available.
There for the Eagles. Hold up. Quickly through the hands. Well, the rush defence really putting the pressure on. Leuta having a difficult job bringing it under control. Kerr Barlow, oh, beautifully taken by Kane Hames. Kerr Barlow was lining it up. Hames took it. Now here's a chance. Mackenzie pops it on to May. But that went forward. Well, they are missing some of their more experienced players. A handful of them. Samu Manoa, Threaten Palamo, Blaine Scully. I think just a bit of panic really in the ranks here at the moment for the US Eagles, Justin.
Yeah, there certainly is, and it's all a byproduct of a poor kicking game at the moment. They had the opportunity there to clear. Leuta got it wrong, horribly wrong. In fact, they probably could have got themselves a penalty, the New Zealand Maori, because he kicked it into a zone where none of his players were within the 10-metre circle. But they need to rectify it and get it right very quickly. They're playing all of the game in this part of the field, the US, and they've tried to run it out, which has not given them really any change. And when they resort to the kicking game, it's just not good enough. So plenty for them to consider, and plenty for John Mitchell to talk to them about at half-time. And it'll be all based on getting out of their own half.
Well, a bit of relief here for the Eagles, because there's been a free kick at scrum time. They don't really want to be scrumming at the moment. Here's one guy who does seem capable of taking the line on effectively, Danny Barrett, although he's been held up.
Let him go, fight! Let it go!
The referee says the tackle's been completed. Has to let the player go now. Now, a charge from Lambourne. Again, the New Zealanders up very quickly, the Māori All Blacks. That time the line led by Bateman. US repeatedly being caught behind the advantage line. Now Holder. Well, there was a chance to pop the pass back on the infield to Niua, but it was snuffed out by the defence. Now he's clever. Close to the touchline on the far side, too close.
Touch.
And it'll be a line out to the Māori All Blacks. Elliot Dixon, who's one of the four,
On the floor. He had both his knees on the floor.
been assigned to the Māori All Blacks for this game. He'll join the All Blacks after this for their European tour. And here he is winning the line out. Rieko Ioane. Oh, he's got such a good fend. He's got Bateman with him. Back to Rieko Ioane. Cover defence comes across, but they haven't closed him down. Now he's taken just a few metres short of the line. And, well, this could even be a yellow card here for the hooker. Hildebrand. Yeah, it's a pretty cynical effort there. He knew his team was in huge trouble. So he rolled the dice. And I'm afraid he's going to spend the next 10 in the bin, and the problems compound for the Eagles.
Yeah, they certainly do. And he did roll the dice, you're right. He was desperate. He recognised if that ball became free and went to the left, they had a huge overlap and an opportunity that the New Zealand Maori wouldn't miss to score. So you can see Ihaya West there. It just needs to get out to him. He had plenty of players outside of him, more coming with the two locks just coming into shot. And certainly a cynical penalty, and one that deserves a yellow card, but the pressure's not off them. The New Zealand Maori have got scoreboard advantage. They've got a man in the bin, and they're opting for the line out.
Looking to complete a pretty good first half here. Minute and a half to go, looking for their fourth try. They go to Franklin, and they set it. Carter Pryor in the back now. Dixon really steering things from the back of the maul. Dixon's got it. Haynes there, right on his shoulder. They take it to the line, and it's another try. I think you'll find it's the skipper coming up with the ball. It is. Ash Dixon gets the try, and it's 26-0, almost inevitable.
And really well set as well. They got it established nice and early, and then once they got it moving forward, Ash Dixon took control. He's the man at the back. You can see they slot in there, but once it started going forward, it was looking very ominous right from the start because it was so well received in the line out. And the maul was set nice and tight, and it was just then a matter of momentum. They got the momentum, and they got the points.
He lost his boot in the process. Some nice work from Haynes. Really got on his shoulder, didn't he? And well, James Hildebrand can only watch on. They've got a real repair job to do at half-time, the Eagles. But things looking pretty good for the Māori All Black team. Looking, would you believe it, for their 70th win in a full international. Tremendous success rate. And in good shape for that to continue here tonight. So Ihaya West. And again, his aim is true. 4 converted tries. And at half-time, the Māori All Blacks lead the US Eagles by 28 points to 0 in Chicago.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the end of